Chagan.
Right. Moobs by Chagan. No, like Chagan?
Like Chagan.
Moobs like
The origin.
Yes, please.
So, as a prepubescent and fairly pubescent child, I had some little man tits, and yeah, like fucking stuck with it ever since day one. I've obviously slimmed down a lot now, but
when did you grow out of them?
I'd say 16. Yeah, 16.
I'm 31 and they're not.
It was it was a wild ride. Fucking, I had no idea how it was going to turn out. Yeah, I'm pretty glad with how it's gone. Like, it could have gone worse, but
yeah. What were they actually like? Breasts? Like,
I mean, like they'd have been comparable to other breasts of 15-year-old girls. Like,
right?
They weren't like these, but like at the age they were correct. Like,
yeah,
they were cupped.
Yeah, I call those puppy tits.
Yeah, it was puppy tits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call them puppy tits. It's not like I talk about them a lot, but so mate, what's that bike in the back?
Bike in the back. That is my
in the back.
This is my Sportster 1970 XLH.
Nice.
Mag fired.
Nice.
That's I got that about a year ago. That's my first Harley. My friend Steve offered me to ride his Ironhead to Holland for custom culture last year, and then it all went tits up. Didn't get to go.
Yeah.
But luckily, did get to take a spin on his bike up a farm track. Cool. And I've always been into the choppers thing. Like, ever since I was in school, I was drawing back of the school books, all choppers. Like, Von Dutch was my fucking hero. Taught myself to pinstripe at fucking 13 or whatever. Classic. Like, all into it. And then, one ride of that fucking Ironhead. Yeah. And I fucking, that torque, drop it into fucking second, drop it into third, open it up, and I was fucking sold.
That's it. That's
it was like, I was like, V-twin, that's happening. And that came along.
Because you're relatively young in the chopper,
in the greater scheme of things.
You're actually you're a bit of like a jack of all trades, aren't you? Like, looking through your Instagram, you've done quite a few bits and bobs.
I've got a very kind of inspiring father. Well, inspiring in some ways, inspiring father who like anything that I wanted to make as a child or anything I wanted to get with make, he's a fucking engineer and turn his hand to anything. So it's like, you want to learn pinstriping? We'll buy some brushes, fucking have at it. Like, really supportive. And so I've just, really cool. All throughout my childhood, I've been pretty open to just turning my hand to whatever it is. And if someone else can do it with their hands, chances are you can if you put your mind to it and some time and so 100%. On. So, yeah.
No, that's really cool. That's something I'm actually really trying to do with my kids. Like, get them doing shit, like that's not games, that's not Xbox and shit like that.
Exactly. It was like, I never had a console, all my friends did. Then this is how it turns out, which I mean, some might argue this isn't the optimal way, but I'd argue that it's closer than most.
So what are you doing right now? And then we'll go back.
So right now I am 23 years old. I'm crashing out in my bedroom at my mum's house. Thank you, Mum. And I'm working from some rented workshops and working out of the workshops of my dad's. Cool. Yeah, I was self-employed, build bikes, make chopper stuff, rebuild whatever you want, really. You name it, I'll fucking do it, paint it,
that's sick.
Make it look cool, or
What chopper stuff are you building?
I've got a set of, I made the forks on this, the Sportster behind me. The lowers, they're kind of like 10 over Barneys, Barney style. But I didn't really see anyone making them for 35mm, and I had a set of 35mm forks. So you do the maths.
You're so wise.
I did the maths, and I made myself some fork lowers because I'm a tight cunt.
That's sick.
And then I've got a set of 20 over Springers tacked up for a guy. Sick. I designed a load of stuff. I designed a load of foot pegs. That's kind of what threw me into it. Is I prototyped some foot pegs, welded them up, and did a raffle, and the feedback off of that was astonishing, quite humbling, really, and just like loads of people being really nice about them, and that kind of thrust me into the kind of Instagram world of making shit and talking about like posting yourself out there and being a guy.
I mean, I love like there's people now that like literally just make a living off selling parts or making, you know, little fucking chopper bits and stuff. Thanks to Instagram, you know, like
it's beautiful.
I love it. I really do love it.
100%.
I know a lot of the old guys, like I understand where they're coming from. I feel kind of the same with tattooing as what they do with the chopper scene, like, oh, you know, fucking social media and blah blah blah. But like as like a platform to kind of like just sit in your garage and do what you love doing and make money.
Yeah, 100%. It's and what's lovely is just, you know, the amount of people that I never talked to, never really would have thought I'd have talked to, had like seen from the outset, and like now we have chats and we FaceTime, and it's like there's like a community of people that know what's going on, and we throw ideas around, and it's good. It's been quite nice to.
And once the shows open back up here in the UK, it's going to be fucking awesome, because it's like we already know each other
already.
Like
it's brilliant. I can't wait to put some hands in my hands. That's shaking them.
Some dicks in your hands. Like with Steve, I've only met Steve face to face once, but fuck me, man, we speak most days like we've known each other for fucking years. Like it's crazy.
He made me a beautiful bracelet, and I'd asked him to make it for me, kind of thing. And then we got chatting, and like next thing you know, he's like, "Oh, I sent your money back. It's free. You're a fucking really solid guy." Like, and we just like I send him some shit, and it's wonderful. The same with like
he's a cool guy,
quite
man.
a few people.
He's sent me like a club gift, and then he asked me for the PayPal for t-shirts and stuff, and I was like, "Nah, man, I'll just send you one over," you know, because he made me this brass thing. And I've bought a load of other stuff off him, and he was like, "No, you've supported me. Let me support you." You know,
once you're like in kind of tight with like the kind of real people like that, like it's very hard to give anyone any money.
Yeah.
Like I'd fucking Stanley. Cheers for the coasters and the regulator and stuff.
That's sick.
And it's just it's wonderful. Everyone kind of looks after each other, and it's nice.
I'm gonna get Stanley on because we're gonna do that Tarabouche run.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, sick.
I've got a fucking fresh coil for the Magneto. She's gonna be
it's gonna be sick, mate. I really can't fucking wait.
To be honest, if we all get our fingers out, we should have like 3 pretty fucking saucy iron heads all rolling.
Yeah,
which will be an adventure, I'm sure.
I've Louis has just picked up my Sportster. I'm getting a load of shit done to it. What's that bike to my left on the screen?
That I'll spin you around. Here we are. This is a kind of like early 70s, late 60s built Honda, BSA C15 250 drag bike.
Oh, mate, that's awesome. What's happening with that? Is that a client? Or is that...
a friend of mine, client, customer, friend. Yeah. It's very hard to distinguish between.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They
starts as one, and then the next thing you know, you're fucking all holding hands,
sucking each other off.
Beautiful, yeah. Just how it should be. Fucking hell. So he, to be honest, he turned up with it in the back of a van, and Karate Bill, fucking lovely guy.
Yeah.
Beautiful man. He turned up with it in the back of a van, and I was like, I had the horn big time. And was like, you ever need someone to fucking pilot this? I'm on it. Like, that's me. Yeah. And he turned up one day and was like, Charlie, I want you to rebuild it. I want you to strip it all apart, polish it all up, get it running, and I also want you to race it at Dragstalgia and fucking wherever else. And it's fucking
the dream.
Music to my ears.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So yeah,
what do you say it's 250?
Yeah, it's a 250 C15. It's got twin plug heads, twin coils, running a 1.25 SU, open primary, and it's also got a pulley on the front. It used to run a supercharger.
Right, cool.
We have very little information about it. It looks like it was last run mid to late 70s by the work on it and by the scrutineering tags and stuff. He has it on word that it left the quarter mile at 120 miles an hour, but I find that maybe a little hard to believe.
That was my next question. Yeah. For a 250, like, yeah.
I mean, with a blower, like when you look at it, it's a very light bike compared to your Triumph and your big pre-unit. All those drag bikes, there's a lot on them. So who knows? But it'll be interesting to.
That'd be sick if
to fucking fly down the strip on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
How long would something like that take you? You know, that's a big job. So,
if that's like, to be honest, I've this thing probably take me like if there's nothing to if there's nothing wrong to fix kind of thing. If it's just a strip down, polish up, bolt check, new bolts and lock wire and all that shit, probably like a week or so.
Oh right, okay, cool.
There's fuck all on a bike like that. I'll take the motor around this time.
Do you do kind of like one job at a time, like focus in, hone in, and get it all smashed out, or do you do a bit there, a bit there, a bit there?
It depends. If you're a good friend, it gets put on the bench straight away, and it's in your hand the next day. And because I'm just like, I'll sort you out, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
If you pester me all the time, the chances are it'll drag on. But now, to be honest, like most of it, I try and get most of the stuff in and out as quick as possible, because if not, it just fries my mind. And like, you can't afford to fry your mind when all your money making and everything is on you. And
exactly.
But I did, but to be honest, I only quit my job like 2 years ago now, and the first year I was kind of taking on all sorts of work. I was welding up like stainless steel petrol tanks for some German World War II army tanks.
Cool.
And welding up some like old classic cars and stuff. Sick. So, and I've also designed and then got laser cut and then made 2 Land Rover chassis for Series 3. One for myself and one for a customer who wanted a new build kind of thing doing with the V8.
Yeah.
So that's ticking on in the background. Anyone wants a Land Rover chassis, DIY kits available right here. Like anything. But to be honest, like that first year I took on so much work. Now it's kind of getting to the point where I'm like, fuck's sake, I don't want to be welding up a TR2 this week. I want to be in my shed playing with magnetos myself.
How are you getting? How are you getting the jobs? Is it all just like word of mouth, or you?
Word of mouth. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's cool.
The petrol tanks kind of work came from some people that knew me, knew my capabilities and stuff, and were just like, "Oh, you've quit your job finally. Good. Here's some work." And
sick.
And they're sweet. They're just like, pay me whatever I want an hour, and money goes in my bank. It's spot on.
What were you doing before? What was the job you were doing?
So before that, I was working for a historic race team as the head of engineering. They headhunted me out of another job, and offered me a pretty ridiculous amount of money to work for them, and kind of sold it to me like I'd be setting up my own workshop, and this kind of thing. And it kind of, to be honest, the work wasn't really challenging enough. Like from the job that I had before, going to that was a bit mundane. And to be honest, I couldn't grow a beard. I had to cut my long hair off and not have any toes on show. So, and it's a bit like...
It doesn't matter how much money you're getting paid for that type of shit.
It's one of those where, like, at the time, I didn't realize quite how fucked up it was that I was in that job. That, but it completely like stifled me, and that wasn't a good place for me.
Fuck that.
And it got to a point where the boss came in one Friday afternoon and was like, "You all right? How's it going?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." Like, my work, what's like? And he was like, do you want to have a chat? And I went in the office, and he was like, "How are you?" And that, and I was like, to be honest, if there's not more to like life than machining fucking spaces for race cars, like I ain't that keen on living this life. And he was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Fuck it, I guess I'll walk." And then literally left that day, walked out the door. He was like, "Don't worry about like working like notice or whatever, if you want to just chill, go away, have 2 weeks, come back, think about like what you want to do, whether you want a little bit of work or whatever. And I left and then got in my transit van, drove all the way up to Scotland, spent 2 weeks sleeping in the transit van, listening to vinyl records and riding a pit bike round various forests, woodlands and beaches. And then drove back home very reluctantly.
Yeah.
Went back in there and was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll catch you later. Yeah, it was quite it was weird. I'd been asking the universe to not be working there, to be doing my own thing. And I was sitting opposite him at that desk.
Yeah.
And it was a fucking scary thing to do, but I was like, this is my doorway and I've got to fucking step through that motherfucker. And that is what it's about. It's growing, and it's sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable, but you get there.
Yeah, definitely. What's the plan with the Ironhead? What
the sporty?
They're never finished, but like, are you?
No, I'm getting to a point with it. I kind of I got it a year ago and it was stock.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Gross.
Original. It was a really nice guy, Mark Dryden, builds really nice bobbers and stuff. Great guy, really knowledgeable and friendly. He'd assembled it, I think, with some repro parts and stuff out of a imported bike that was probably just a frame and engine because the forks were the wrong year and stuff. Yeah. And it was really nice, lovely. Yeah. And a lot of people tell me that I fucked it up every single day. But I bought it because it was a fucking 900 Ironhead, had a mag drive, that was what I wanted. I wanted as old as possible, and to be honest, my budget couldn't afford anything else but an Ironhead. And so I gave him some cash money and a box of motorcycle parts.
Sick.
And came away with that, and then within 2 months had
bastardized
fucking 7 overs, and the tank was up, and it was
awesome.
Fucking kickstart dented the pipes, and then it's grown from there. And so the next thing for that, I've got to finish off these Barneys, stick it back together, and then at some point it will get blown apart, frame will be molded, and I'll still keep it swinging with struts because that's a pretty period correct thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't see many Ironheads that are strutted like how they were back in the day. And I got those Outlaw Archives books and do a lot of research and old photos. There's some fucking tough bikes in there. Yeah. And I don't know. I like it. Frame up. Fucking.
He's got a massive Instagram, hasn't he? The Outlaw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get the old hat rig back on. Yeah, here you go. They're pretty wonderful.
Oh, sick.
Just like pages and pages and pages of just beautiful old Polaroids.
Fuck's sake.
Shoppers.
I literally just every day I skim through the Outlaw Archives Instagram.
I got these for inspiration because I don't know. These are the bikes that the bikes and the lifestyle and the kind of the life that I admire.
Yeah,
that that was one of the Sportsters that kind of inspired mine.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But to be honest, it's been a blessing. Like I haven't bought any parts for that bike. Everything has been trade for work. Hamburger wheel was trade for work. Yeah, set of pipes. I got my friend Tegan. I'm doing a load of work on his Ironhead, and every time he fucking has a W&W order, he's like, "Do you need anything?" And I'm like, "Oh, I could do with a new coil and fucking some spark plugs." And then he fucking hooks me up. He hooked me up. He got me an S&S throttle the other day.
Oh, sick!
He was like, "I got this on eBay. I've got 2 now. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, man!" So it kind of just all grows, and it's good.
That's sick. I wish I hope my next build's like that because I'm fucking sick of spending money on bikes.
Don't get me wrong, I still buy a lot of parts. They just never go on the bike.
the springs that you said you've tacked up, what's your plan with them? Are they for a customer, or are you going to
I set out thinking, I'm going to production. I'll have a website, I'll have parts, I'll just knock them out and be that'll be me. But I don't know, to be honest, as I'm going on, more people are asking me to do stuff, and I don't want to get tied down. Half the reason I quit my job was so I could go and ride motorbikes around the fucking world and live an actual life instead of just working all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm not really sure. To be honest, really what I'd like is people just to say, oh, I've got this crazy idea for a set of springers. Do you think you can make that? Or I've seen these springers in this book. Can you make me a replica set? Like, do that kind of like,
perfect. Yeah.
You know, you'll get a better deal hourly for me if I'm making something that I'm like, fuck yeah, this is complicated or really hard or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've had a load of people asking about the Barney lowers because I'm going to start doing those. Yeah. I'm going to make some 41s because I want to make some for a shovel head I'm going to build. And then but people have been great, just asking for all sorts of stuff. To be honest, I could do with like 5 people just run around and order shit and cut shit and keep it all rolling. It would be really profitable then.
Yeah. But you've made some tattoos, haven't you? Some sweet.
I've made some sweet ink. Yeah, I've poked a needle or two. Yeah, that was another jack of all trades. I'm good friends with a guy called Tom Kelly. I don't know if you know him.
Cool.
Does bold traditional kind of stuff.
Yeah,
really, really lovely guy. Fucking sweet as could be. And yeah, I'd done a lot of stick and poke tattoos with my mates. Christmas Eve, we always used to get stoned in my bedroom, drink a load of Red Stripe, and fucking stick and poke ourselves till it was time to go home. And just fucking around doing that shit. And then I was getting a tattoo by him one day. He did. I think might have been my first tattoo. I got the Black Sabbath, like Lucifer going through the fucking black circle on the back of my calf. And I was chatting to him about it, and he was like, "I think I've got an old tattoo machine somewhere. Like, you fucking give us like fucking 40 quid or something, you can have it." And so I got that and some fucking needles and stuff and started practicing. And fuck yeah, I've been impressed with them. Everyone else, like, to be honest, what's let me down is I haven't taken pictures of them, taken pictures of them healed. So I've just not. But it's not really something I'd want to do for work. But it's something that I love. Someone being like, "Fuck yeah, let's do a tattoo." Like,
yeah. I know what you mean.
And I like being able to tattoo myself because that's it. It's just fun and
because you're fucking, a weirdo.
Yeah, I'm fucking weirdo.
I fucking hate tattooing myself now.
Really?
Yeah, like I did it when I was learning, but now I've only got sore places left now to tattoo, and like it's just like it's fucking self harm.
Fucking Ollie Gerald, fucking did my ribs, and I was fucking laying there, like this, just like
This doesn't feel like any other tattoo I've ever had.
Yeah. This was like a spiritual passageway or something.
It's awful. I remember like I'd got my arms and shit done, and then I got some like writing on my stomach, and the first line on my stomach, like I was like one of them fucking idiots. I was like, yeah, I don't even mind tattoos. I'm super cool. And the first line on my stomach, I just like
tattoo fucking. I was like, have you farted? Like, did a bit of the tattooing stuff, and I like that was another thing. I was just in school. That's what I wanted to be when I was in school when I was 12. Was tattoo artist. Really into all the Von Dutch shit and all of that. Just drawing flames on everything.
Sick. Do me a favor.
Redo it.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
So, what is that tank?
That tank is fucking wonderful. That's what that is. Let me get it for you. This is a tank hand painted by Eddie Beniston, Dirty Ed. It's got a naked chick. It's got a fucking snake. Let's try and put that around.
Sick.
It is unbelievable. Like words and camera photos don't do it justice. Get it right.
And you won that.
I won that for £15.
Sick.
Which obviously I'm over the moon with. I got to choose the tank, the design, Ed's, and like the best part about that, to be honest, is talking to fucking Ed, because like I imagine the relationship is worth more than the tank. Like don't get me wrong, I'm fucking
no, I know, but exactly what you mean. Yeah.
But honestly, like talking to him and just getting to know him and chatting, throwing ideas around, it's fucking wonderful.
That's
so I'm dead keen with that. can't wait to
I
build a bike.
fucking love raffles.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm
shit,
all
isn't it?
about that raffle thing. Do you know what I
I
mean?
like it.
I've just done
It's
the
like,
first one with that TC Bro seat. Like,
yeah,
I love it.
I will enter that when I get some money in my bank account.
No, but like, some people don't like it, but I'm all about that, mate. Like,
Yeah, you hear people who kind of like not
they go crazy about it.
as stoked about it, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, not another raffle," and it's like, well, you don't have to
Yeah.
enter it.
Yeah.
And like, to be honest, like sometimes it's fucking, if you're selling some expensive shit, it's hard to get a customer to buy all your expensive shit. And if you can if you can raffle it off and you can make the same amount of money you'd have done if you'd sold it,
Exactly.
and three people are like mega stoked that they've won something, and it gets you out there. Like, I can't see a problem with it. It's fucking it's good shit.
No, that's it. I've seen a few people that are like, oh my god, you know, they're charging like this much a ticket, and then they're getting like 15 grand for a shovel head. I'm like,
yeah,
just don't enter the fucking raffle, mate.
It's like,
you know, like
there's a guy who's bought like a fucking 10 grand shovel head, put 8 grand into it, who wants to get a reasonable amount of money back for it, so he can buy like a generator shovel or whatever. And it's like, he deserves to get his money, really.
Yeah.
And someone deserves to get the bike.
Yeah.
The person who gets the bike's going to be mega stoked. He's going to get a better price than, and like, you know, it's like buying 15 grand bikes. There's like, that's a chunk of money to lay down on a bike that's probably not going to run most of the time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And especially now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I've entered quite a few of the bike raffles.
Yeah.
Lucky Luke, if you're watching, I've entered a few now. So any of the next ones. And like, but you're never that bummed. Like, I'm just fucking stoked to see someone win one. Like, they're fucking, it's rad. It's like, I don't know. I kind of feel a sense when you've entered a raffle and you haven't won.
Yeah.
There's a certain kind of like pride in like, I fucking helped that guy get that bike.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Like,
yeah.
He hit like his stoke on getting a fucking panhead for 50 quid.
Yeah.
Is down to every single one of us putting 50 quid in.
Exactly.
Like that to me is like fucking, that's sick.
Yeah. I'm always entering the American ones. I've no, you know what I mean? I've no plan on how I'm going to ship it over, but I'm just, please let me win this knucklehead.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the knuckles, man, they're big money.
Oh man, they're crazy.
I've got a bit of a wild idea for a Built World's People champ. 1 year, I want to do a V4 knuckle.
Sick.
I want to make my own cases and fucking get wild.
That'd be fun.
But that's still locked in the noggin.
How would you go about making your own cases and stuff?
A lot of fabrication, a lot of fucking around. Me and I got a friend called Rhodey who lives in Virginia.
Right.
He's got a thing called horse shiticus. That's like horse shiticus.
Right.
Horse shiticus.
Right.
We've coined the term. It's like trying to do extremely complicated things beyond your like parameters and usually making it work. Which is like that's just me and him all the time. We're always trying to do I'm boring and honing fucking pistons and bores on my like little Colchester student, and I'm like, they're mint when I'm done. Like, I'm miking them and really getting it good, but it's taking me all day. But like, I fucking love it because it's the challenge, and it's like, fuck yeah, I've done this in my own shop, and like,
no,
it's
definitely.
good. And the same like,
go on.
Nah, crack on.
Did I see you? Are you rebuilding a motor?
There's a 66 sporty motor next door that will be getting rebuilt. What you probably saw recently was I had the primary out of my sporty. Right.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
But to be fair, funny story. So I bought that and it was clean, mint.
Yeah.
And the guy hadn't really ridden it, which was fine. He started it up and he didn't really smoke, and the top end sounded pretty tight. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. Like, when you're buying a fucking Harley that's 50 years old, it's always in the back of your mind that it might blow up in a week's time.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily his fault. That's like just 50 years of it being fucking abused. Like,
I've literally had this conversation recently. Yeah.
You can't buy something like that and expect it to just be like a new car that you're going to take back for warranty and like,
exactly. Yeah.
Fuck that.
I know a girl who. Sorry, I know a girl who bought. I don't know what it was. It was an '80s Sportster, and she bought it from like a dealer, but not like a fucking Harley Davidson dealer or a fucking. Do you know what I mean? Nothing,
like a dodgy round the corner dealer.
just a guy that's a fucking that's got a sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was it fucking
Those fucking guys with signs
after taking over the fucking world. And like 2 weeks later, it was all boggy and it was shit. She was fucking raging. She was like shaming this guy all over Facebook. It's like, fuck, it's
just like, well, like, you're not the person to buy a fucking old Harley. Like,
no, yeah, exactly.
Like there's a lot of people that wouldn't run around on a fucking, like, I daily ride that fucking Sportster.
Yeah.
Or mag-fired, kick only most of the time because the fucking this idiot put a lithium battery on it and fried it over the winter in the cold. So my knee is now extremely sore, and my tank has a patch in it from where I punched it when I overset my knee last. I'm only saying that because I feel like it clears my conscience. But yeah, anyway, I bought the bike out in Norfolk.
Yeah.
And then tuned it up on my nan's because she lives out there and it wasn't really running mint at his. Yeah. And then was like, fuck it, let's ride it home. So stuck my lid on. Dad followed me back and I rode it. And it was popping out of third gear. They have this thing, and not popping out, like it doesn't pop out of the gear completely. It feels like the clutch slips, and it's the gears deflecting, and that is. I did a little bit of research when I got home, and then was like, oh my god, I'm so glad my gearbox isn't like on the A12 because I was riding that home, like that thing was ripping. As most things do with me. And so I got home, did a bit of research, was like, oh fuck, that's what that is. I need to reshim that. And then like the next day had all the primary off, the trapdoor outside, the gearbox was on the bench, and I was fucking measuring the end floats and shimming it up and that. And then stuck it back in. It's been mint ever since. But that's the kind of thing. Like if you're going to buy a 50-year-old Harley, like you want to be a guy that's comfortable with that, or a guy with enough coin in the pocket to be like you. Bloke that's comfortable with that, I'm going to give you this much money for you to sort out.
Definitely.
So it's one of those. That's why everyone, a lot of people on Facebook keep having the discussion whether magnetos are reliable.
Right.
And to me, they're the most reliable thing in the world because like if your charging system fucks up, which mine has several times, you can fucking put a head torch on and ride home in the dark flat out. Like your bike will start and it will rip. Like you'll be going into the sunset. Like you might not be able to see where you're going, but like you'll be able to go home at 10 miles an hour, or at least get to somewhere that has street lights. And that's what it's about for me. But it's one of those things where it's like, if you're going to buy a 200 quid mag that's fucked and just put it on your bike and not understand it, like you're going to have trouble. But if you're someone with like a bit of understanding, then they're the most simple thing in the world. And like,
I might speak to you about this after.
Yeah, for sure. With a mag, it's like you've got the coil in here, and you've got the armature in here, which spins round. That creates the charge. There's a set of points here that spin round, and the sparks come out here. Cool. Like there's one moving part. That's the spindle with the armature on, or the magnets rather. And you can carry a set of points, set of condenser, a new coil, all the tools you need to do it, a new cap in like, I don't know, a fucking box this big. Like you could rebuild your whole mag at the side of the road. It'll always run. Like that's so awesome. I fucking swear by him. And I know fucking Zylstra Chopper swears by him.
Sick.
Really fucking dig his shit. Fucking Josh Bedford, another Magneto enthusiast or whatever. But yeah, no, they're fucking.
He's a cool guy. I want to give him a shout out. Like
I've never. You should get him on here because I haven't got a fucking clue what he says or does. Because from the outset, looks
just for me personally, like I don't really talk club and stuff on the podcast, but just recently, he came across one of our old members, passed away now. Old private plate, and it was cool. It was a club plate, And he reached out. Never spoke to him, but he reached out and he's like, "Look, I don't want to fucking just sell this thing to anyone. I'd rather it go back to your club, And we bought it back the same day, and fucking, we've got. Do you know what I mean? That's like we.
Well, it's that. We
like thought
respect,
that was lost. You know what I mean? And
shout
out to Josh, man.
There's a lot of people that would find something like that, either have no idea or think, "Oh, fucking hell, I've got this. Like, let's make some money," or like whatever.
Yeah.
When there's you can judge a certain type of person who's like,
exactly.
That belongs with those people. This belongs here.
Yeah.
Magnetos belong in my ignition system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I appreciated it a lot. It was good.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. Well, Eddie speaks highly of him anyway.
Yeah. So what's your plans then? What are you working today? Are you fucking are you fabricating?
I'm loosely always working.
Yeah.
To be honest, at the moment, I'm gonna stick a new coil and a new cap on my mag because I'm getting ready to hopefully ride to Sheffield next weekend. Throwing that thing back together because, to be honest, I started making a foot clutch setup. Well, I did make a foot clutch setup. It works mint.
Cool.
What doesn't work so well is the rear brake setup that I've done, which needs a little more fettling because my rear brake's on the left-hand side on that. So I've got my foot clutch on the left.
Oh, right.
And then I was running my front brake on the left lever so I could hold it on hills with the clutch in.
Yeah.
And then jockey shift with my right hand into gear on the case.
Right.
And that was working mint. But to be honest, it was getting to a point where I was like, I had so much work coming and stuff. I was like, I'm never going to have time to just spend, because it wants just 3 days spent on it, cutting bits of metal, welding them on, making all the levers, just getting the right lengths and finding out when it's just right. Yeah. So I've stuck my brake pedal back on, stuck another lever on, and that's kind of given me an opportunity to pull my finger out and get it back on the road because I just want to ride.
Yeah. How did you find that setup?
That's the pride flag.
Say again?
To ride?
Yeah, how did you find it here? Ride it? Like hill starts and shit, fucking roundabouts, just stuff we've already spoken about.
Fucking rad. Yeah. I love it. Well, to be honest, it was getting to the point, like, I have a tendency to try and ride and drive as fast and hard as I can. And I don't know if that comes from like a certain like low self-value kind of thing.
I do that
just I just fucking love going fast.
Yeah.
I do.
Always trying to rip the fucking head off.
Yeah. So to be honest, I was like, I wanted to clean up the bars.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like just watching people with foot clutch doing wheelies is the shit. I love people popping off a fucking slingshot clutch and that front will bop, 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 bop. Yeah. It's fucking wonderful. And I wanted to be that guy. So I made myself the setup. Works really well. And I got on fine with it. Yeah. The one time it did fuck me over was the first test ride. I went up the road and it was piss raining. And I got to the little turning round spot, shifted down all the gears. And I just cleaned up my front brake and stuff. I hadn't put a leading edge on the front brake shoes.
Yeah.
And I had convinced myself that I just grabbed the front brake thinking it was the clutch when I went to stop and locked up the bike and slid down the road. So I'm sliding down the road at like 25 miles an hour or whatever. And like, you don't really know what's going on. And then what happens to me is like, I hear the helmet scraping the floor. And then I'm like, what's that noise? And then I'm like, oh, that's the helmet on the floor. I'm sliding on the floor. So I picked the bike up and I thought it was just that I forgot about the clutch. Yeah. Just left the clutch completely out, grabbed the fucking front to the bars and slipped it. But that wasn't what happened. I did have the clutch in and my front brake just over-centered and locked on me.
Right.
The funniest part about that is that I then picked it up in the middle of the road, gave it a kick, started it, and did it again 10 meters down the road. And the worst part was there was no cunt there to laugh at me.
Oh, really?
All I wanted was like someone to just be there, like, you dick. But like no one saw it apart from just like passers-by in cars, which like, and they don't fucking get that. They're just like, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously I'm all right.
Thomas
Living the
help you pick
dream.
up your bike. No,
Fuck off.
Sally. Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm just like, I think there's some diesel down on the road here. There must be loads. Definitely not my fault.
Wasn't
Don't look at
anything to do with
motorcycle
my
too
ability.
closely. Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's good shit though.
That's all I ever like. Wherever I have an accident or whatever, I've only had a couple, but I've always, like my fucking foot's hanging off, and I only care who is watching. Like, oh god.
I've been lucky that on motorcycles I haven't had any injuries crashing motorbikes. Yeah. I've got a VFR 400. That was my first. I did my full test, and that was my first bike. Rode that to the TT and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're a lovely little bike, really lightweight. Because I'm a pretty small guy, 69 kilograms.
Do they come in a 750?
They do.
Yes, they do. My mate's got one.
Yeah, 750. Yeah. But they're a V4 and a beautiful bike. But it's one of those bikes where all of the power comes in at about fucking 10, 11, 12k.
Right.
And it is just like when you have them singing on cam, that is a beautiful feeling. Just the vibrations and linking out being in harmony and that. And I was locked up for about 100 yards. I paced it out, rear wheel locked up sideways, going around a corner. There was a rigid axle lorry coming out from one side of the road, and he was coming out a gateway. And he was pulling across the road, watching in his mirror on the gateway, got to the middle of the road, and I'm like, shit, this fucker isn't stopping. And I'm locked up, like going sideways, try and just steer it to the inside of the curb. Yeah. He comes all the way out to the other side of the road. So like both lanes of the road. And this is a fucking 60 limit, like A road. This isn't like a fucking, oh yeah, I'm just pulling out of this fucking farm track. Like busy road. Yeah. So I managed to just get the back, trying to scrub, not putting too much front brake to fucking flip the bike and flip me off, but just keeping it fucking there. And I scrub it all the way to the curb, get to the curb, and the lorry body's there. And I just remember getting to there and then just jumping off the back of the bike, ghosting the bike through the gap. Fuck. Both the wheels hit the curb, bike just lays on its side and slides along the curb and stops. And then I kind of just like shoulder barge off the front of the thing, and then I like roll into the ditch, and like the ditch broke my fall. And that was one of them.
Shit.
And I'm kind of pissed off because I like, from anyone in the transport industry that I've talked to since, he was completely in the wrong. Had no right to be on that side of the road. And but he got out of the cab and was fucking and blinding and fucking super aggressive.
Was he?
Like, you know what it's like after you fucking do something like that. You're shaking. You're like, fuck. Like, I could be like splattered on the side of that. Like, I'm still here. This is and like, so I was a bit shaken up, just confused and that, and was like, he got my details, and I was like, my bike was fine, really, just scuffed the fairings, and I was going to replace the fairings anyway. And I was okay. Got up, started the bike, rode to work, sat there, ate my croissant, and but like I don't know. I feel like I need those moments every now and then to like ground me out and to just make me appreciate life and just
definitely. Just kind of fucking rein you in a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But the worst one I had wasn't on a motorbike. It was on a BMX. And I
was going to ask you about that.
So I fucking, it was a end of winter, start of spring, first ride of the year at skate park. Oh, let's go for a ride about. Dropped in one lap, came back, fucking hung out for a bit, dropped in again, hit coping on this quarter pipe, went up to air it, and I only remember going up the quarter pipe. And I assumed that I hung up front wheel and went straight to the concrete from like an 8-foot quarter. Ugh. And massive shout out to my friend Ryan and Jack and everyone that was there. I just got knocked out. I was fucking having a seizure on the floor for like...
Oh, shit.
It was like a 15-minute, like, I was knocked out, having a seizure, face down. Like, my mate rolled me over, face is just covered in blood. Like,
fuck.
So I had, like, I'd split my eyebrow. I had, I think, 12 stitches underneath and 12 on the top.
Yeah.
That was pretty gnarly. Also, I had to shave my eyebrow off, which was obviously pretty gnarly.
Like a proper greasy virgin.
Yeah, real greasy virgin. So life. So yeah, and then the ambulance kind of turned up. I don't really remember fuck all of it. I remember waking up, sitting up, and a guy being like, "I don't think you should sit up, mate. Just lay down. Like you're bleeding quite a lot."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What? I'm bleeding." Flipped around my front-facing camera and was just like, my whole face was red with blood because I'd just been bleeding. Like, I'd just been flopping around like a fish, like face down in a puddle of my own blood for 10 minutes. And I was like, yeah, no, you're right. I'll sit down.
Yeah. That's going to be the ad.
Yeah, got to fucking got down to the hospital. And they do what they do. I was in there for a whole night, had a load of scans and stuff. Had an internal bleed on my brain, which luckily self-dispersed. But
I love it when they do that.
Yeah, it's
my favorite.
It's really nice. Like what I miss about being in hospital that night is someone coming into my room and shining a torch in my eyes every half an hour. If I could just have, like, when I make it big time, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna fucking have that woman there. She's gonna be checking my eyes all the time. But yeah, that was
living the dream.
That kind of shook me up a little bit. Made me appreciate things.
But... So when was that? How long ago?
That was must have been like 4 or 5 years ago now, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even more. 6.
No.
That was just before it was about 2 or 3 months before I was due to ride that BMX bike around France for 3 weeks.
Oh shit!
Me and my friend got a coach over from Victoria and had bikes with little bike racks on the back and pedaled around. We went over. Yeah, we got the Eurostar to Paris, went all the way over to Geneva, rode down through to the coast, like Aix-les-Bains, had some family to see, and then all the way along the south coast on trains and fucking riding skate parks and just going up mountains and stuff. It's beautiful.
Sick.
That's like living out of a bag, just like, what are we going to do today? I have no idea. Probably going to eat some baguettes. Like, there's a certain, like, I don't know. And there's a massive belief in people that it's just like, oh no, I can't do that. I'll be rubbish at that.
Yeah.
Like the amount of fucking chicks I've gone out with and stuff who are like insanely talented artists, music, like fucking just really fucking beautiful, talented souls who are just certain that they can't do it or they can't make it or they like aren't good enough. And it is heartbreaking to see with people.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people need that kind of inspiration to be like, because the only like I'm only sitting here because I've fucked up a load of stuff in the past. Yeah. Like, it's just practice, and you put yourself out there, and it goes well. Usually,
that's it. Well, that's a lovely way to end this.
I'm a pretty nice guy.
Kind of a big deal. How can everyone find you, mate? On Instagram?
Fucking look in the woods.
Grinder.
Moobs like Chagan on Instagram.
Moobs.
To be honest,
Chagan.
I think that's my only. Yeah, that's my only thing. Yeah, cool. I keep it low profile. And to be honest, I don't really post much. But if you keep an eye on my stories, you will always be able to laugh at me, see my dog, and whatever bits of metal I'm.
And the fucking, I love the live streams that you're doing.
They're fucking hilarious, aren't they? Yeah.
I love it. That's good.
It's the best. We had one the other day. We had like fucking Rhodey from Virginia, like awesome. 2-3 other people on there, just like all talking shit. It's good.
I want to be in one.
Yeah, we'll fucking invite you in on one.
So, thanks, mate.
Yeah, beautiful.
Right,
it's
mate.
been a pleasure.
I'm gonna leave you to it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no sweat. I hope that
I'll speak to you in a minute. Probably give you a message.
Yeah, nice.
Send you a dick pic and that.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Can't wait.
Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.
Bye.
See you later.